from the Ridgewood Public Library. I'm coming to you from my kitchen today. I've got my apron on, my gingerbread man apron. I'm feeling pretty festive. It's holiday time. I'm getting excited to do some holiday baking. And I also thought this was a great time to introduce our newest little scientist experiment called Magic Milk, especially fitting for this magical holiday time of year. This is a really simple and fun experiment, and you'll probably have most of the items you need at home. Our list includes Dawn dish soap, whole milk. This is important because it has a higher fat content, which will be important to this experiment. A couple of shallow bowls, I used paper bowls, food coloring of various colors, cotton swabs or Q-tips, and holiday cookie cutters. These are optional, but they definitely make things more fun and festive. The other thing that I would add is when you use the Dawn dish soap, you might put some in a small bowl like I have, just to make it easier to access when you're doing the experiment. Now that we have all of our materials together, we can set up the experiment. The first thing you'll need to do is fill your bowl or bowls with whole milk. Then place drops of food coloring all around the surface of the milk using any colors that you choose. Next, you'll dip a Q-tip into the dish soap. Just touch the tip of the swab to the milk and watch what happens. Try not to stir, just dip the Q-tip and let the magic happen on its own. I decided to use two different cookie cutters. You can see here that I used the star first, and I only dropped the food coloring around the star, around the outside of the star. I'll go back to the inside later on. But you can see all the colors swirling and mixing together. It makes a really cool design. If you need to add a little bit more soap, you can dip either the other end of your Q-tip into the soap and stick it in the milk, or you can use a new Q-tip. So now you're probably asking yourself, what's going on here? What's the science behind these little colorful explosions? Well, the first thing that's important to know is that a larger surface area will allow for more magic to happen. That's why we initially placed the food coloring droplets around the outside of the star rather than inside, so that the colors have more room to swirl around and mix together. The chemistry of the dish soap and the fat of the milk is what makes the magic happen. While some of the dish soap's properties dissolve in the liquid, the other properties search out the fat of the milk. This searching is a whole bunch of molecules racing around to get those fat globs. You can see it as the color moves around in the bowl. Keep getting a bit more soap until there's no more movement. That means that all the fat globs have been found and attached, and in the process, you've made some really cool designs. So just for fun, I've decided to continue this experiment by using another cookie cutter, this time a gingerbread man, and I've placed the food coloring inside the cookie cutter rather than on the outside, so that we can see what happens when we use a smaller surface area to conduct our experiment. You can see that the colors are mixing together much more quickly. For the last bit of our experiment, I've decided to add food coloring to the untouched parts of the milk. So now I have added some drops to the outside of the gingerbread man, as well as to the inside of the star. So now we have color swirls everywhere we can imagine. I hope you've enjoyed this experiment and that you had fun doing it on your own. And I wish you the very happiest, healthiest, and safest of holidays. See you next time.